All right, hi, welcome back to the archive. So, in this episode, we're going to return to Game Changers, stories of hijabi athletes from around the world. It's written by Charlene Smith, and the forward is by Shireen Ahmed, and it's illustrated by Natalia Tariq. So, the sixth athlete that this book gets into is Latifah McBryde. Okay, Latifah McBryde. So I'm going to post Latifah to start off the beginning of Black History Month. So Latifah was born in Buffalo in the United States, and they continue to live in the United States, as this book was written, and they are a wrestler. Okay? So basically, Latifah McBryde and her sister Jamila, they both were wearing their hijabs, and they were wearing the abayas. Is that how you say it? Abayas. And they were standing in line at a weight to weigh in for a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournament. And these two other girls, we can assume the other girls were probably right, but it says two other girls around that were hanging around looked up and down at them. Were like, "Oh, this is going to be easy." The book says it was easy for Latifah and Jamila. It goes, it never ends well for those who underestimate the McBride sisters. Booyah. Right there. That's it. Why would you think it's going to be easy? Because I got a hijab? Watch me whoop your ass in this hijab. So they did. Good for you, Latifah. So basically, Latifah and her sisters, they started wearing the hijab when they were 4 and 5. They loved their hijabs. They never let them stop them from doing what they wanted to. So the three younger sisters, they used to watch their brother wrestle. So their older brother wrestled, and one day their brother's coach asked 7-year-old Jamila would join in the practice, right, to wrestle with another girl who needed a partner. So Jamila is Latifah's sister. So Jamila started practicing wrestling. She had so much fun that her younger sisters, Latifah and Zaina, decided they wanted to wrestle too. So the McBrides were homeschooled, and wrestling was part of their physical education curriculum. So homeschooling gave her the flexibility to make her own schedule, and include more training and wrestling classes in her daily routine. And so Latifah didn't really think that she'd ever be able to compete fully covered in her hijab. But there was a sliver of hope, right? So one day, when her dad was their coach, so her coach and her sister, they entered a local jiu-jitsu wrestling tournaments. So people stared at them, of course. They wondered what these Muslim girls were doing at combat competitions. Like, why are you wearing, what are you doing here, first of all? And you wear hijab, right? You see them, even as a girl, they underestimate you. Like, have you seen the videos of the girl wrestlers? I don't know if they all identify as girls, but and the boys got in there like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and then the women end up whipping, the women and girls end up winning, and the men and boys have to tap out, right? So especially with the hijab, people for sure will underestimate you, and so they never paid them no mind because they usually were winning. So they started winning. In 2021, Latifah, Jamila, and Zaina all competed in the U.S. Women's National Championships and the World Team Trials. And so, basically, in their respective age ranges and weight categories, that was their first major tournament. Their dad got permission from the USA Wrestling and United World Wrestling for the girls to compete wearing modest clothes. The competition went well. There was no complaints about their clothes. The next year, in 2022, when they went to the U.S. Women's National and World Team Trials, this time Latifah finished in second place, right? So that means that she qualified to represent the United States at the Pan American Games later that year. She was so excited about the opportunity to perform at a high level. Then her dad got a phone call. The haters, here come the haters, right? We don't mind if you're just not placing. Oh, you placed second? Oh, now you took it away from my daughter. No, that Muslim girl's got to go. So her dad gets a phone call. Basically, the UWW wouldn't allow her, Latifah, to compete unless she agreed to wear the standard wrestling singlet, which would leave her arms, her legs, and her head exposed. So she never agreed, right? So her and her father spoke to several podcasts. They told their story. The petition started, um, and in the end, she still was not allowed. So she wasn't allowed, and the third place finisher got to go. See how unfair life is just because you wear hijab. This is why I'm sharing this, because there are folks who do different things and have so many barriers, right? And um, there are black people who are practicing Islam. Ghana, for instance, has a huge Muslim population because Christianity and Islam are the two major religions, right? And so this is not just about majority of these people in here are brown folks from like South Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries or North Africa, but there are black people who are also practice Islam, right? There are black Muslims. And so basically, and that means they also play sports and they come up against these same challenges. So she wasn't allowed to compete. The third place person went instead, right? You didn't even work hard. Anyways. So all of their hard work and determination, it wasn't for nothing though. It's usually not for nothing, right? After she placed second at the World Team Trials, Latifah was recruited by several universities. She accepted a scholarship from Life University in Georgia. They also offered Jamila and Zaina the same. And so they were getting attention because of the petitions and the podcast. That NAIA, the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, and the NCAA wrestling coaches got together. They reviewed their videos of the McBryde sisters. They discussed whether or not modest clothing could be allowed in college wrestling. But one of the coaches voted to allow it. All but one. There's always a hater. All but one of the coaches voted to allow it. The coaches, they welcomed the McBryde sisters on their team. They felt really comfortable, and so the head coach even brought herself a hijab so she could see what it was like to wrestle in one. You didn't need to do that. I mean, you didn't need to do that, but okay. And they did. Um, in her first year on her team, Latifah was named the Freshman of the Year and Wrestler of the Year for the entire Mid-South Conference. So she's a fighter and she doesn't let things keep her down. So this is Latifah McBryde, okay? Happy Black History Month. This is a Black American, Muslim, hijabi, who wrestled, was denied from wrestling. And again, this is a first, again, pay attention. This is a first person who was denied, right? Not just, again, this is where I would bring colorism into it, because out of the others, she does have darker skin. Um, Remember, Kalsum is light skin, for instance. She also did weightlifting and weight training, and they allowed her, right? And so you could see, like, who, even when there are barriers, you see this added layer of colorism, right? Oh, no, it doesn't matter how much you petition. It doesn't matter how much. Sorry, black girl. And now you got to sit there and watch somebody who placed third when you place second go to compete higher than you because of racism. But then they'll say you're the DEI. You didn't earn it. You earned it. This person that placed third literally did not earn that spot. But they're not a DEI, right? So these are some of the things that I hope you're thinking about this Black History Month is usually the black girls who get put on the chopping block first. The dark skinned ones are always sacrificed first, right? Not the light skinned ones. Not to say that they get away with it either. Your time will also come because they don't like you either. And I think that's what a lot of people are seeing. It's finally trickled down where now it's affecting like white people, right? So, and they thought they were safe because their skin color. Yes, it might affect dark skinned people first, um, but you're not safe either. Okay? So that is Latifah McBryde from Game Changers. We're going to take a break from Game Changers. I'm going to return it. Maybe we'll get back to it. We still have 6 more to go through. And I'll just keep posting on here. And I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself. Until next time, in solidarity.